If you're gardening in Florida, anywhere from Pensacola over to Jax, you know that spring lasts about 15 minutes here. But the Florida heat is coming for our gardens. If these 5 crops aren't in the ground within these next few weeks, your crops can really struggle when we get into the heat of the summer, and you might have a delayed harvest till summer or all the way into fall. Today, we're breaking down the 5 must-plant crops in April, the sooner the better. Stick around for number 1 because if you miss the planting window like I did last year, you won't get a single harvest until your fall crop comes in. Starting at number 5 here, we have the bell pepper. Bell peppers need that head start here in the heat in order to build that nice canopy of their leaves. If you plant these too late or you don't give them enough of a good start now, they won't have enough time to develop those protective leaves, and when they start to form those fruit, those peppers on there won't be enough protection and they're more at risk for getting sun scald. So we can't wait until May or June to get those peppers in the ground. We need to get them into the ground now, take care of them, water them deeply so they can have those nice big leaves and also those deep roots to get them through the hottest months of our year. Number 4 is a huge one for our soil. It's beans. While I do love to grow beans for harvest, I also love to grow them just to shade my soil, sort of as a living mulch. Our soil likes to be in darkness, it likes to be cool, it likes to have a living root in it, and it likes to have that moisture. Beans help to do all of those things for our garden. It's also one of those crops that is great to just turn right over into your soil at the end of the growing season as long as those plants are still healthy. I personally don't overthink beans. I go to my pantry, I see what we're low on, black beans, pinto beans, chickpeas, whatever it might be, and I put those directly in the soil and let them do their thing. Last year I planted one of those 16 bean soup mixes that you can get from the grocery store, and the kids had a blast harvesting all of the pods when they dried and not knowing what color bean was going to be inside of it. So I would love to do that again this year for them because it got them really excited about the garden and it was so much fun for me too. Before we get into our top 3, remember that soil temperature is everything when it comes to our plants. While they are resilient and they do have a range at which they can grow, you want to make sure that that soil is the right temperature for that plant that you're planting. If you aren't sure what the right temperature zone is for your tomatoes or your eggplants or whatever that crop is that you're looking at, I have a free PDF that gives you the temperature ranges for a wide variety of crops. It also tells you the months that you should plant them and if that crop is better transplanted or directly sown into your soil. Our number 3 crop is our slicing tomatoes. These can be such a challenge down here in the southern heat. Once our night temperatures start staying above that 70 degrees and our humidity rises, the pollen simply gets too sticky on those tomato flowers to be able to properly transfer and have that flower be pollinated and turn into a tomato. You also hear people say that those tomato plants stop setting fruit, and that's exactly what that means. We really want our tomato plants to be flowering now or as soon as possible so that we can get those fruits pollinated and get them started growing so they can finish up throughout the year. Tomatoes can also be tricky because we have to have enough calcium going through those tomatoes at all times in order to avoid that blossom end rot on the tomatoes. The only way that there's enough calcium getting to these fruits is if you are consistently watering. Calcium cannot move into the fruit if we are not having water moving into that fruit as well. I have a whole 3 tomato series that I'll link in the description if you struggle to grow tomatoes here in the southern heat. The number 2 crop we're talking about today is cucumbers. Everybody loves a cucumber right off of the vine, but with cucumbers, we aren't just racing to have them develop that root system, we're also racing against the pest pressure that starts to rise in those June and July months. Pickleworms can survive all year long in southern Florida, and as the temperatures get warmer, they keep working their way up through the states, all the way into more of our northern states. And pickleworms are a huge problem because they're very hard to prevent. They're also very hard to spot on your fruits, but once you have one, you probably have a lot. So if you can get your cucumber seeds growing and in the ground today, you have a higher chance of being able to harvest before you have to start checking your cucumbers for a little extra protein. And finally, the number 1 crop for April is eggplant. Eggplant loves the heat, but here's the catch, it's a slow grower. Last year, I didn't get my eggplant into the ground until late May, early June. I knew that it loved the heat and I thought it would be just fine. But what ended up happening is that heat slowed down the growth of my eggplant. By the time it actually started getting flowers, it was too warm and too humid for my flowers to actually get pollinated, kind of like our big slicers. So I was stuck with these eggplants that were taking up a lot of room in my garden, but they weren't really doing anything for me all summer. I had to wait until those nights cooled down again and the humidity dropped in the fall in order to get my first set of those eggplants. I also noticed that that eggplant that I got into the ground late did not survive the frost, even though I covered it and took care of it. Where in the past, I've gotten my eggplants into the ground a lot sooner in April, and they typically can survive the frost if I cover them properly. So get your eggplants into the ground now at the beginning of April so they have time to set that spring fruit for you and also have a better chance of surviving our winters come next year. Timing is a huge difference here between being able to enjoy your harvest this spring and not have to worry as much about pests or having a compost pile full of dead plants by the time summer hits. Let me know in the comments where you are gardening from this year and if you have seen any pests popping up. Hit subscribe to see my next video where I'm going to list 25 crops that love our Florida humidity.